recruiting news, we can talk about Brandon Arrington, A&M's number one. Basically, I think he's the number one ranked prospect in their class. I know he's the number one ranked.
Definitely the number one cornerback ranked.
And I think Rivals has him as like number 10 overall. So elite player, future NFL first round pick type of player, 6'2", incredible length, elite track speed.
Elite track speed. He has broken many records in the state of California. So if for our people who have not seen already, Brandon Arrington announced today that he has officially shut down his recruitment with Oregon, Penn State, and among others hot on the trail to get him. But he has officially shut down his recruitment. So this is another one of the Aggies who have shut down their recruitment. I mean, we saw all the way back at the start of the summer that this makes just, I think, over 8+ of their commits in the class have publicly stated that they have shut down their recruitments and they're here to stay in Aggieland. So this one is a very, very big one, and I would not be surprised if down the line we see more of these commits during the season do it. They have completely locked into A&M right now. So
and that's big for Arrington because I think sorry to cut you off, but I think that having him and Victor Singleton shut down the recruitment, that is huge for this future secondary. I mean, that's the thing that you are going to see next year that Will Lee, he's definitely leaving, obviously. You're going to have some holes there. And I think Arrington is the type of player that could end up playing right away. I think he might be just that good in that system. So it is one of those things where when you do hear recruitment shut down for an elite player like that, that's probably going to spur more. I think KJ Edwards is the name to watch next. Obviously, they're a 4-star running back commit. He is getting a lot of attention from LSU. They have made him their number one priority flip candidate. But to be honest, I've read some articles from some insiders that it's kind of funny when you have these articles where it talks about, LSU's trying to flip this A&M commit. And then you read it, and what it really comes out of saying is that, no, I love A&M, but this is just LSU what they're doing.
Right. And I've written about it myself.
I get it.
Yeah. Written about it myself is that Texas and LSU were definitely on the warpath to try and get some flips because they did lose out on some running backs like Xavier Crowell, who went to Bama. So a lot of even their running back commit right now, Derek Cooper, is kind of looking at Miami after their big win. He was there watching. So in the event that something were to happen like that, I definitely think a lot of people can circle back around to KJ Edwards. But he is completely locked in right now with his commitment to A&M. So we're just looking out. But in something like this with Arrington and, of course, Victor Singleton, you have two top 10 corners at their positions already locked into A&M, and they already have a very, very good other cornerback in Cameron Humiel out of Arizona,
who
is specifically a nickel corner. He loves that A&M recruited him specifically as a nickel corner. He is exactly the type of athlete they want right there, who kind of fits that mold of Tyreek Chappelle.
He's a blue chip. He's a blue chip. That's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a recruiting expert, but that's a blue chip prospect. That is, turn on the tape. That is a blue chip prospect who is going to be a star at that position. And that's the type of player that I think Elko, because, we mentioned Tyreek Chappelle, had some trouble in the first game. It's a hard position to play. It is a very hard position to play, especially in college football. And going into the NFL, that is a premium position. Like you see NFL teams all over the place when, for example, when the Cowboys lost Jordan Lewis in free agency, that sucked because Jordan Lewis, and we'll see how that affects the Cowboys, for example. But it's just one of those positions where if you don't have that elite quickness and you don't have those instincts and you can't follow those type of twitchy receivers inside that are going to get those easy third down conversions that are just going to beat you up in the middle. Yeah, you're going to have a tough time on defense because that's the type of game that, like we were saying with A&M, that's the type of offense that Colin Klein runs. It's like expose those type of defenders in the middle of the field because they can't cover our wide receivers. Well, if you don't have that on the other end, that opposing teams are just going to do that to you. So it's fantastic they're recruiting that way. But yeah, 3 players. Jonathan Hatton, their other 4-star running back, that's their security blanket right now. If Edwards was to flip, not saying anything in the sorts is happening, but it is good to know that Hatton has locked down his recruitment as well. So they have
Texas A&M has who I believe, besides Notre Dame, to have the best running backs in the class in 2026. So it's really good to see